Erich, I'm a senior in genetics, and today we're going to be talking about the Philippeion. Now, the Philippeion was built just before the beginning of the Hellenistic period by Philip II of Macedon, and although he commissioned it in around 338 BC after a military victory, he died shortly thereafter, and it was finished by Alexander the Great. And it was designed by the Athenian sculptor Leochares in celebration of the victory of Battle of Sharona, and he, as well as a series of athletic victories, namely chariot races. So the purpose of building this was that not necessarily to show like his own ability, but mostly to show him, Philip built it to show himself as the ideal of the pan-Hellenistic ideal, to show himself to the Greeks that, you know, he was one of them, even though he was from the north and not generally part of what one would consider Greek. So as to the building itself, although no more than 15 meters wide, the Philippeion consisted of an outer stone colonnade with 18 Ionic ordered columns that stood atop the three-step marble base, which you can see right here. Inside it, there was an inner layer of Corinthian columns, 9 of them, that I don't think are here anymore, but they were lavishly decorated. And the very interior right here, the stone block, you can see is the beginning of the naos, which was the center of the monument. And on the roof there was a bronze poppy head, which is no longer here. So the way it was designed was the entire structure and its ornamentation were carefully based on divisions of a circle. And there's the 36 style plate blocks centered under and between the previously mentioned 18 columns. And they were also, and the floors were decoratively flagged in rhomboids, arranged at regular degree divisions of a circle. According to a visitor much later in the 2nd century AD, the cellar wall was built out of rectangular porous blocks and was covered internally in red plaster and white joints that imitated brickwork. Is right here. You can see it between the two stone blocks where it was a base of bases for statues that held statues of Alexander, Philip, and Olympias, Alexander's mother, and his grandparents Amytas and Eurydice, and the Olympias and Eurydice were the 2 female statues. Those were later transferred over there to the Philippeion, which also functioned as a treasury for the altar, which is kind of the holy ground of the site. And although Philip originally dedicated this to Zeus and kind of served as a monument to his achievements, it was eventually used for the worship of Alexander's family, because his family eventually became deified through a series of hero worship, I assume, like hero cults and so on. And this was the center for all of his adherents. And interestingly enough, it's the only circular structure in the Altis, as well as the only one built solely for the achievements of man instead of deities.
Great, thank you very much.